What is up, guys? PPS here. It is 10:20. I'm a little early. Ready to drop some props here. Ready to talk some of the games as well. And I got a couple props ready for you guys. Ready to roll. I think it's just easier for me to do this and do a breakdown of it here than try to type out like seven different write-ups that everybody likes to see. It's just a lot easier for me to talk about it. Hopefully, if you're over on YouTube, drop your questions. Be happy to help. Went through this whole slate quite a bit. I know it a little too well. There's going to be a lot of games here today, so I'm just going to post out the YouTube link. Jump over to ask some question. But yeah, since we weren't able to do past the prop this week, I thought this would just be a good alternative. Just because I know me and Monotone's schedule hasn't really matched up lately. I think he's in like Michigan or something, a place where there's really no service. So he just let me know we weren't able to do it this week. So I'm gonna pop on, gonna drop a couple props. Hopefully we get some people in here that want to ask some questions, have some DFS questions. Got a championship fantasy league coming up. I'm actually playing against Lightning Locks in our Capper League. I am down 22. It's a two-week championship. So down 22. I ended up being at a Christmas party, my girlfriend's family, so I wasn't allowed to be on my phone as much as I usually would be. And then James Conner got ruled out late, so I couldn't even switch it. So I took a 0. Not making excuses or nothing, but that is where we're at for fantasy wise. So hopefully a lot of you guys made your fantasy championships and are able to cash in here today and getting a title. So one championship, one third and fourth place game, but that league doesn't have any payouts for third and fourth. So yeah, love to see who is all in here. If you're in here, drop a comment. Love to help with anything that you guys have. So I'm gonna just drop my first play here while we're getting people in. So I'm gonna drop my first one, which is gonna be I'm gonna roll my boy Joey Burrow, Joey B. Coming off of the absolutely massive game last week. Now we're getting them playing the Chiefs. They're 4-point dogs here. And I really, really like this spot for this game. I love this game overall. I think it's a huge fantasy game as well. Hopefully have some people in this one. But 24.5, I thought this would be like 26, to be completely honest. I think that they're going to be throwing this ball around. According to Pro Football Focus, only about a 28% run block advantage for the Cincy Bengals. So I think that we're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more here. I also think they're going to be losing. The Chiefs are on a nice little run here. Defense playing a little better than I expected until they played a pretty good team, which was the Chargers, I believe, 2 weeks ago on that Thursday night. So I really, really like Joey Burrow, especially at home. But yeah, they played the Steelers last week. I don't take anything from that. Raiders without like 3 dudes. Don't take anything from that. The Broncos. But then obviously played the Cowboys, played them to a good game, 19-9 win. And then, like I said, Herbert really torched these guys. And I think that we're going to see that type of game here from Joe Burrow. He's gotten 24 completions, at least 24 completions in 3 of his last 4 games. And like I said, coming off an absolutely crazy, crazy game last week. I think he broke like 2 records. Higgins and Chase both have great matchup advantages too. Again, on Pro Football Focus, if you guys have it, make sure you go pop over there. And honestly, I didn't know this on the year when I haven't bet Joe Burrow that much, but he's sitting at a 69.9% completion percentage on the year. So I think that it's going to be a fun little game. I think that this is going to be one of those spots where Joe Burrow obviously has those deep threats, but you still got Tyler Boyd, who's been coming into his own in these last couple of weeks after starting the year hot and then kind of dipping off with the emergence of Chase and Higgins. So I think that we're going to see scoring galore here. I think this game flies over. Bengals defense is anything to write home about as well. So these are the perfect types of games to bet on overs on the quarterbacks. And I'm going to go with completions here. I think that that's going to be my favorite spot of this game. Also have a couple other bets in this game, but nothing else really that I'm going to share on here. I'll have one more play. I believe it's going to be a pick of the day over on Twitter. So make sure you guys, if you guys don't follow me over there, go jump over there. I will have a post in about once this video is over regarding what my other play is in this game. So let me take a look here. So yeah, we got about 20 people in this chat. We have quite a few over on Twitter. So very happy to see all you guys jumping in with me over here. Again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hoping everybody has a good championship Sunday. All right. Let's go to play number 2 here. One that I did grab early. I got this around 102 yards rushing here. I'm rolling with my Badger. I do not have my Badger flag up yet. I haven't gotten it up there. I think it's sitting over here somewhere. But I'm rolling with my Bucky Badger here. I have this at 2 units at 102.5 personally. Once it moved, I did switch it up to a 1.5 unit play. I'm seeing 106 mostly. I would even play it up to like probably 108. I just think this is unbelievably low. Again, this is exactly what I've said with the Patrick Mahomes lines. When his lines get a little bit too high, the market starts just freaking out, right? When you start seeing Matt Mahomes at like 325, I'm more than happy to jump on these huge lines when there's value and I can find it, right? So Taylor is just on another planet right now. I mean, these last 3 games, 27, 29, 32. Even against the Buccaneers, he had 16 for 83. But then 32 carries against Buffalo, 21, 19. So every single time it's just going up and up. They're just feeding this guy the ball because they really don't need to do anything else. Also, we have no Carson Wentz today. I know some people are thinking that they're just going to load the box, and that's possible. I do think that is definitely in the realm of possibilities. I think if you're smart, Vegas will do that. But they still do have a 45% run block advantage here. Taylor, on just sheer volume, is going to probably get close to 100 yards automatically. I mean, he's going to be touching the ball 25 times most likely. And yeah, the Raiders are kind of in shambles lately. I am not a huge Raiders guy. We're sitting at the Colts at minus 8.5 today, which without Wentz, it just shows you how good Jonathan Taylor is. The last 3 games, last 7 games. Okay, we'll go last 7 games. They are 6-1 in their last 7, and Taylor has every time that every time that they have won, Taylor has hit this number. The only loss, obviously, being the Buccaneers game that they did lose. Obviously, it's gonna be bad, but yeah, I when you see Taylor in a game that they're favored and he is only around 100 yards, it's just a no-brainer, right? At this point. Oh, he is starting. Well, even with Carson Wentz starting, I think that actually helps him, to be honest. I was thinking that Raiders were going to pop in and put 10 in the box, but now with him playing, I like it even more. And like I said, the numbers here are insane. He's the last 3 games that they've won, 32, 29, 27. He's sitting at 108, 170, and 143. And I think the biggest thing in that Houston game is the blowout game. They won huge, but he didn't really break off that big run and still ended up with 143. He had 32 carries. I got 4.5 yards a carry, still pretty good, but only the longest carry was only 16. So I know a lot of people have been saying he's been getting these big runs, and that's going to be like the reason why he has to get to these numbers, but he's getting it on sheer volume. Like I said, if you get rid of that Tampa Bay game, that's the game they obviously lost. Buffalo, he had 32 for 185. Jacksonville, they won 21 for 116. And then the Jets, they won 19 for 172. So he is really putting on that MVP type of caliber season here. I would love to see it go to him. And this is going to be another game that he's going to have to show out here, especially if they're going to push into that playoff run, which he's obviously the main focal point for them too. So that's my second play here. I'll get to some questions here. Dave asks, we got championship fantasy question, PPR, Jones, Singletary, and I can pick 3 of them. I mean, I have to go Jones. I was going to be going to that game, but we had a couple people get sick, so the people we were going with got sick, so we ended up having to sell the tickets, unfortunately. But I was going to be in the box for that game. I think Jones has a good night. I think I would go definitely Jones and Javonte 100%. Those would be definite lock-ins. The only thing that scares me with Damian Harris and what I don't like about Damian Harris is that he has to share carries now. That's always been – I always hate running with Bill Belichick running backs just because of that. But I think with this actually leads right into Trevor's thing, talking about the snow in Buffalo. I might roll with Singletary here. I think I would go Jones, Singletary, and Javonte Williams. I'm not saying the Jacksonville matchup is bad. It's just how many carries can you truly trust Damian Harris to get? They've been running that backfield out there with like 3 different dudes. Bolden's going to be catching all the balls. I mean, you still got Stevenson there. They're going to have a huge run block advantage. I'm going to assume here New England 86% run block advantage. So 86% is pretty crazy, but Singletary's actually gotten into the action a lot more. Obviously they picked up, they have Breida now, but Zach Moss completely an afterthought now. I think that Jones, Singletary, and Javonte Williams would be your place to go. I love Javonte Williams today. I actually really like both running backs in that one. I don't think Drew Lock throws the ball more than 15 times, 20 times today. That Chargers front 7 is going to get mauled by that Broncos offensive line. They're so good. And they've just been playing fantastic. 48% run block advantage. I think both of those guys have value today everywhere. We'll go back to Trevor's question here. Allen in the snow in Buffalo or Taysom Hill in the dome. Oh, per rush. Oh, wow. 0.5 points per rush. Wow. I think obviously Hill's going to be your better points on the rushing part of it by quite a bit. But damn, I've never even heard of a league that does that. I mean, you got the Falcons, right? Falcons, Panthers. I think that that's close. That's really close. I just can't bench Josh Allen. Josh Allen has got you here. I've had to roll with him even when he's had bad weeks. But if you remember, Josh Allen actually got I think he had 3 touchdowns, but fantasy-wise, he didn't do that good against this Carolina defense. I think it's going to be tough for the Saints to really move the ball. I think this Panthers suck, but, man, I just can't trust Taysom Hill. I think that this is a Kamara running game. I think this is going to be – you can hope for dump downs, but I think that I would go with Allen here, and hopefully he does get those rushing yards here for you in the snow because we did see him do a lot more running in that win game, and I think I just have to. I can't bench Josh Allen, especially in the championship. It's tough. Oh, I hope it's a championship. You said fantasy question. I don't know if that's a championship or not, but I hope it was. Hope it is. All right. Thoughts on Mike Evans under? Oof. Oh, man. Let me check his yardage. I did look at this earlier in the week, but I want to check what it's at now. Do you have a number for me on his under, or also just give me 1 second to take a look here? Let me pull up the lines there. We got Mike Evans. Oh, wow. 45.5 I'm seeing on DraftKings right now. Oh, man, that is really, really low. I did not check the weather in that game. If anyone wants to let me know, if Buffalo is having snow, I would assume that the Jets are having snow there. If anyone can let me know on the weather there, if that's an issue. Obviously, I don't think it's an issue for Tom Brady. Tom Brady's obviously played in New England for a long time, and really don't think he's going to have any problem today. But Ronald Jones is going to be a focal point of this offense. Obviously, you are bringing back Antonio Brown. I was definitely looking more at the Browns side of things for reception wise. But the thing is it's hard to take an under with Mike Evans on yards. If anything, I would probably take it under on receptions just because he's got the big playability here, and he's coming off hamstring injury, reinstated from COVID. Okay, yeah, I didn't even read that he is going to have a limited role. I was looking at Brown even before anything there. I think that he's the over spot, if anything. It's a tough spot here with taking it under on a guy who's a big play waiting to happen like Evans is. Like all it takes is one deep ball and Evans hits this number. But I mean, I would definitely probably go more on the under on probably receptions. I'm going to assume it's probably 4.5 just because of his name, maybe 4.5, 3.5. I think that would be the better under spot just because I don't think Brady's going to really need to throw that much in this game. Yeah, I definitely think that Brown is the way to go on this side today for those guys here. All right, let's get this next one going. Super onion ring. Dawson, I think I would assume Knox, over 32.5 receiving yards. He's hit in every home game except for the Blizzard game. Yeah, I know this comes back to the same thing Trevor said about the snow there. I like Dawson Knox. I think he missed last game. I think he only had 2 catches for 11 yards because I had his over 3.5 catches at plus money. It's just I don't know how much Buffalo's really going to throw today. I don't really know if they really need to against this Falcons side. Let me take a look at some of my favorite numbers to look at for passing here. Yeah, I mean, we have Josh Allen still sitting at 260 passing yards. But I think I would probably say this would be my favorite one before receptions. I think that you just have to have him break one. I just truly don't know. There's so many mouths to feed on this Buffalo team. Like I said, Diggs, you're going to see the dump downs to Singletary. Obviously, Gabe Davis and Cole Beasley being back. I think you're really relying on him. I would probably just, if I'm going to take him, I'm probably taking him to score a touchdown. That's where he's utilized. And like last week, he had 2 catches for 11 yards and a touchdown. Like I would guess that would be my spot. If I'm going to go anything on Dawson Knox, probably to score a touchdown. Would probably stay off of yards or receptions just because there's too many mouths to feed in this offense for me to really trust that he's going to get the yardage there. 32.5. It is low, and I get that, but it is very, very hard for me to trust really anybody in this offense besides Stephon Diggs now with everybody being healthy and the weather. So it's probably a stay away. I don't think I can put my money on it. I don't have enough of a read on it, and I don't have an edge on that because, I mean, like you said, it's snowing there. It's not going to be fun. By tonight in the Green Bay, make sure you guys know it's probably going to be snowing here. I believe we're going to have a winter weather advisory here in a couple hours. It's actually kind of sunny now, but that's some news for the Packer game there tonight. Don't believe we have any other questions in here. But yeah, let me do one rundown here. I think I have the 2 bets that I did post in here. I don't want to give out too many just because I'm going to be giving out a couple more on Twitter as well today. So I want to make sure that I get enough to the VIPs in there too as well to get there. Swift over 27.5 receiving yards and AJ Dillon over 51 yards. Swift, I would like to know what his reception line is at. I haven't seen a reception line for him, but I would probably lean more that way. Only reason I say that is because they're going to have to dump down. They're going to have to. They got Tim Boyle at quarterback, and I think he's just going to have to dump down. I just think that they're going to lock in on him, I don't believe Hawkinson's playing today. It's pretty much going to be him and St. Brown. Unfortunately, Tim Boyle is not a great quarterback. I think that is pretty common knowledge. And yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I think I would go receptions over yards. I mean, yes, I know how explosive he is. Playing a Seattle team that I'm not really afraid of at all. But yeah, his rushing receivings at 79.5. We're seeing his longest reception prop is at 13.5. So, I mean, if you take 27.5, I would probably just take his longest reception over 13.5, to be honest, because I don't think that he's going to have the volume, but I don't think he's going to have as much success as people are thinking, because you really don't know how much they're going to play him. I mean, I get it that they're going to say they're going to play him a lot, but we've seen that how many times? We've seen that how many times where they said they're going to play him a lot, and he's coming off an injury, and they really have nothing to play for, and they have a backup quarterback in. It's like there's so many bad things going on in that game. It's very, very hard for me to trust anyone on that offense. I think the only guy I would really trust is St. Brown, just because he is the number one receiver and his lines are so low. Yeah, that would be my spot there. And let's see, I think we had another one. Okay, A.J. Dillon over 51 yards. Let me take a look at the run block advantage here for the Packers. 19%, so not a ton, not a huge run block advantage. But I do think he's going to get the volume. If you guys have watched the Packer games lately, Aaron Jones is more scat backy. He's going to get probably about 12 to 14 touches, more your end arounds, more your tosses. A.J. Dillon, if the Packers are up in this game, if they're going to like ice the clock, or trying to kind of go in those longer drive modes, A.J. Dillon's that guy. A.J. Dillon is a bruising back. The Vikings are playing in a primetime game against Aaron Rodgers without their top quarterback. I mean, Cousins wouldn't do anything. I really don't think that Cousins would do too much there, just because he sucks in primetime. But man, I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I think the Packers are going to beat the living crap out of them. And also, like I said, when it comes down to it and the Packers are winning in the game, as an Aaron Jones fantasy owner, I know this way too well. They're going to use A.J. Dillon and run him into the ground. I'm going to take a look on FanDuel and DraftKings right now to see if I can get a attempts prop. I don't know if they have the attempts prop up there for them, but I think that we are going to see a really good outing out of A.J. Dillon today, and have him come through. So I would definitely lean over more on the reception prop for Swift, and then the over 51.5 or 51 rushing yards for sure. But yeah, I think that's good. I don't see any other questions in here. If you guys have any other ones, get those in quickly. Just a quick pop on here, drop a couple props, and answer some questions. I think that's all the questions that we had in here. And then thank you, Corbin, for letting me know that he is playing. So that I do appreciate that. So first play, again, Joe Burrow over 24.5 completions today, at home versus Kansas City, in probably the biggest, most fun matchup for sure of the day. And then the second one is going to be Jonathan Taylor over 106.5 rushing yards, 1.5 units play on that. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against Jonathan Taylor right now. The man is pushing for an MVP, and I'm really hoping he does it for Bucky. We got the dub this week. Won the bowl game against Arizona State. Probably one of the worst games I've ever watched in my life. I would probably have rather watched paint dry, because that second half was probably, like I said, the worst half of football I've ever watched from anybody. So, yeah, so that concludes just this quick pop on. Got to get a couple more things out. For props, I have a couple other things I'm looking at for tonight's action. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going to the Pack game, which sucks. But I mean, it's probably going to be over by halftime, to be completely honest, without Cousins there in a Vikings team having to come outside to Lambeau Field. I believe the Packers can clinch the one if they win today. I mean, I think they pretty much did lock it up already, because they have the tiebreaker over the Rams and the Cardinals. So yeah, thank you guys so much for popping in. I appreciate it. I might do a couple more of these during the week, just to kind of get you guys a little bit more action, a little bit easier to kind of communicate with you guys on here, rather than going 27 different DMs with you guys over on Twitter. That's usually what it comes down to, is just me messaging everybody back. But I think this is just easier. I think this is a little bit more fun, a little bit more interactive. So, again, 2 plays, Joe Burrow, completions, and then Jonathan Taylor over rushing yards. So thank you guys so much. I will be on Twitter all day today, making sure we got our bets going through and everything. So if you guys have any questions, anything at all, DM me over there at Player Prop, and we will get this started. Good luck to anybody in the fantasy championships today. Hope you guys win. Like I said, I'm going up against Lightning Locks for the Capper Tournament Championship. So very, very excited. I think it'll be a fun one. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Best of luck with your bets, and best of luck if you are in a fantasy championship. Peace, guys.